Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 13th edition of Today in the World of Wrestling. Tonight we are coming at you covering the episode of WWE Monday Night Raw that aired on July 18th, 2016. And this was a really entertaining show with a really stupid end.
Yeah, I'm very curious how they're going to handle that ending, but overall, a very fun show.
Yeah, just to kind of cover the entire show with a bit of an umbrella and take a lot of different discussions off the table, there were a bunch of different segments tonight where the Raw and SmackDown general managers, who we found out in the opening segment were Mick Foley for Raw and Daniel Bryan for SmackDown, were just talking to random talents, different people, their brands' respective commissioners and the opposite brands of commissioners, and of course each other. And that was really prominent throughout the entire night. As far as matches go, we had 7 matches tonight. We had a ton of tag team action, including and starting with Cesaro and Sami Zayn taking on the team of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn ended up picking the win here, pinning, I believe, Jericho. Is that right, John?
That's correct. He pinned Jericho.
Yeah, and then our second match of the night was Alberto Del Rio one-on-one with Darren Young, and they are continuing this little streak where Darren Young is winning by fluky, sort of luck-based means, because The Miz tried to cost him the match and ended up saving him the match, and then Darren Young took advantage of The Miz's distraction to roll Alberto Del Rio up and get the 3 count.
Yeah, fun match, but questioning the whole Darren Young push. We'll get more into it on TitWoW.
Yeah, for sure. Up next was easily the most entertaining segment of the night. John Cena is out to talk about everything that's going on in the state of the WWE right now and how the certified G's have got his back. Enzo and Cass come out and do their shtick. Enzo does a big rundown on their opponents tonight, and then Cena kind of plays up old man Cena and acts like he doesn't really get what's going on, and how Enzo's just kind of spouting off all these catchphrases and punchlines one after another. And then Enzo and Cass are just kind of like, yeah, that's just kind of what I do. And then we got an SAWFT, but was interrupted by the club, who come out and say they're going to beat up John Cena, and they're going to beat up Enzo, and they're going to beat up Cass, and they're going to beat up The New Day, who then come out. And, of course, the first thing that they say is, oh, the club like to talk about things that they beat. And then, speaking of jerks, so we got a masturbation joke from The New Day again on Raw tonight. And then they get to the ring, and they ask Cena if he really doesn't get the how you doing thing. And he says he doesn't. And Xavier points out that he's level 21 in Pokemon Go, and they start listing Pokemon to the how you doing chants. And then Cena tries to stop it all, and then he starts to say, because, but the New Day catches on and do, because New Day rocks. And it was an amazing segment, but they were interrupted by a Wyatt family jump scare and then a commercial. And when we got back, we got our 12-man tag match, Cena, Enzo, Cass, and the New Day versus the club and the Wyatt family.
I think it was a very fun segment that preceded this match. Great energy and great lines as far as the match itself. Chaotic and very entertaining.
So then we had a really weird, really unique Seth Rollins empty arena promo, almost a soliloquy, where he talked about how he used Dean and Roman Reigns to his benefit. And by the end of it, he says, as far as the Shield goes, I was always the man. And it had great intensity to it. Very different, though. What did you think about this, John?
Oh, I love the atmosphere to it. I thought it was great by Seth Rollins.
So then we got Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara in what was basically a squash. Sin Cara kind of showed a little bit of an aggressive, ruthless side here, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't stack up to Baron Corbin. Corbin messed with his mask and then hit the end of days, and then he kept beating on Sin Cara, but Kalisto made the save. However, Baron Corbin, being one of the actual smart heels on the roster, waited for Kalisto to turn his back, focus attention on saving Sin Cara, and then kind of making sure he was okay, and then attacked him as well.
Baron Corbin slaying 2 dragons in one night.
What a line. Wow. So then we had our 5th match of the night, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke. And let's be real, this was pointless. The match at the pay-per-view should either just be Charlotte one-on-one with Sasha, or Sasha and Becky versus Charlotte and Natalya, so that we can kind of fuse those feuds together. However, this match ended up having a disqualification finish because Natalya, who I already was bringing up, attacked Becky Lynch, and we got a post-match beatdown where Charlotte and Dana beat down Sasha and taunted her.
I do agree that Battleground should have had a different setup as far as the women go, but this is a good interweaving of the feuds going into the pay-per-view, so.
Yeah. So then we got a really neat Dean Ambrose promo that he did in the style of the old Shield promos, where it would be like they were picking up an old camcorder and recording themselves talking into that. And I thought that this was really cool. What'd you think about it, John?
Oh, great vibe. Love the throwback. Love all the Shield sentiments throughout the show. It's just a shame that Roman had to be stupid and get suspended. So,
Well, you say shame, I say relief. So then we had our sixth match of the night, which was Rusev and Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder. And while Sheamus was in this match, it was pretty evenly matched. They were pretty, back and forth, fighting it up. And then Rusev got tagged in and just destroyed everybody and ended up picking the win by getting Dolph Ziggler to tap out to the Accolade.
Rusev's been on a tear, and I love it.
This almost kind of makes me feel like you drafting him as early as you did in our mock draft was actually a really, really smart move.
Damn right it was.
So then we had another Brian Foley segment, which we'll talk about on the TitWoW show. And then our main event of the evening, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We had Stephanie McMahon, Mick Foley, Shane McMahon, and Daniel Bryan all at ringside. And the finish was screwy because all four shoulders, both Dean's and both Seth's, were down for the 3 count. And it was like a double cradle kind of thing.
One, called it. Two, while screwy, definitely intriguing that they went off the air without any resolution whatsoever.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, I mean, you say no resolution whatsoever, but they named Seth Rollins the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I should rephrase that. Not necessarily a resolution, but they let the controversy hang in the air.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Exactly. So, there's definitely a lot to talk about here, but you guys want this to be done quick, so we're going to close this out right now. Be sure to stay tuned for TitWoW later on tonight.